Jay here of Stretford Paddock, and this is breaking news, a bit of breaking news, and it's official. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Britain's richest man, it has been confirmed that he's officially entered the bidding process to buy Manchester United Football Club. There's been a statement put out by his company, Ineos, which basically says that they have entered the process. I'm just going to bring up the quote here. It says, "We have formally put ourselves into the process," an Ineos spokesperson said. Now, we know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been linked with a move for Manchester United for at least the last year or so. We saw him speaking about potentially buying Manchester United when he did that live forum that we covered here on Stretford Paddock. We know he's a person that grew up in Manchester. I think he's from Failsworth originally. Used to go to Old Trafford, has spoken about buying Manchester United, but when has been asked about it, has said, well, the club isn't for sale. He says he knows the Glazers, the club isn't for sale. We know now the club is for sale, and it looks like, well, we know that Jim Ratcliffe has entered the race to buy Manchester United. Do get involved in the chat and the comments. A bit of breaking news here. This seems like the move, from what I gather, a lot of people wanted when it came to someone to buy Manchester United. Now, there's no perfect owner in Manchester United. I think we can all agree on that. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe certainly ticks a few boxes. He seems to understand football. Whenever he's given an interview, he was interested in Chelsea. Remember, in the summer, he spoke about wanting to get Chelsea to the top of the football pyramid and getting them back into the head of Europe and stuff. He seems to have a good sort of grasp of that. He knows Manchester United. He's been to the, if you care, he's been to watch Manchester United. He spoke in that interview I mentioned earlier where he did the live fans forum about being there when we won the treble in '99 and things like that. He's obviously got money. He's Britain's richest man, depending on which report you believe. He's worth anything between sort of 14, 15 billion to upwards of 20 billion. So he's got the money. Even if Manchester United did cost around 5 or 6 billion quid, that's something he could afford. We don't know if it's going to be him or him as part of a consortium, but we do know the interest is there. And we'll get involved in some of the comments. If you are watching, make sure you hit that like button. Over 1,200 people watching. Let's get to 300 likes. Come on, that's easy. We can do this. We've been waiting for the Glazers to go for so long. They've announced that they're selling. Now we've got people ready to buy the club. We've even got someone who, unlike the Glazers, seems to know and understand football and know Manchester United Football Club other than just an asset. Now, I'm not saying he's definitely coming in for the right reasons, but he knows what Manchester United are about. He seems to be someone with an affiliation with Manchester United. I know there's always a case of you have to sort of be careful what you wish for, but this, for me, feels a lot more positive than Joel or Avram Glazer owning the club. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. Do you think this is a good move? Is this someone you wanted to see come in and buy Manchester United? Loads of people in the comments. Dan MUFC 99 says, yes, things you love to hear. Our dreams have come true. Moley says, some are reporting that Lewis Hamilton is involved. Paul Murray says, Jake is a kiss. There you go. I'm happy because it looks like we're getting closer to the Glazers leaving, which is always a positive thing. Oh, please let it be Jim, says Jim Mack. John Gallagher says, surely this would be the best owner that can afford us. Reese in the super chat says, surely can't make this statement if not confident. We'll go into the article here. There's loads of articles doing the rounds. There's an article in the Times. There's an article in the Mirror. I've got one up here from Sky. It says, billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe confirms interest in buying Manchester United. The club was effectively put up for sale by its American owners last November, to the relief of many fans who have long accused the Glazers of failing to invest in success. I think that's a bit of an understatement. You can see there it says billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe has confirmed his interest in buying Manchester United. The 70-year-old chemical firm Ineos announced it had formally lodged interest with the club's current owners, the Glazer family. We have formally put ourselves into the process, an Ineos spokesperson said. There have been other expressions of interest, it goes on to say in this article, with Saudi and other money from the Middle East understood to be focused on the club. Mr. Ratcliffe, Britain's richest man, has made no secret of the fact he would be interested in buying the Old Trafford club. He supported United as a boy and is understood to remain a fan. Manchester United was seen as being put up for sale late last year when the Glazers, who have been at the helm for 17 years, ordered a strategic review. Now, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the one that has been spoken about for years. Now, what happened in the summer? When he came in for Chelsea, people thought, okay, well, he's going to buy Chelsea. He isn't going to buy Manchester United. But as Kieran Maguire pointed out from The Price of Football when we spoke to him, he's a football financial expert and he knows what he's talking about. He said he didn't feel that bid for Chelsea was a real bid. He said that Jim Ratcliffe came in sort of past the deadline with his bid and it was a lot lower than other people were offering. And he's not a stupid man, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. You don't become Britain's richest man by being foolish. Kieran made the point, I think it was a good one, that felt like Sir Jim Ratcliffe almost saying to the Glazers or to anyone, look, I'm here, I've got money, I want to buy a football club. Then he was specifically asked about Manchester United during an interview he gave with the BBC's Dan Roan when he was talking about his bid for Chelsea, and he simply said, Manchester United is not for sale. He didn't say, I don't want to buy Man United. He didn't say, I'm not interested. He said, Manchester United is not for sale. He'd also said in that same interview that he used to go and watch United when he was a kid. Now, you fast forward about sort of a few months later, Chelsea obviously went to Todd Burley's consortium. So Jim Ratcliffe did this sort of live stream sort of Q&A. And we watched it, we covered it here on Stretford Paddock, and he was asked about Manchester United, and he said he'd spoken to the Glazers, he said he knew the Glazers, he said he was a United fan, he'd been to United games, I think he mentioned about being there in 99 when we won the treble, but again he said that it was around the time that the club wasn't for sale. Now though, the club is for sale, as the Sky article points out. November, we had that statement, strategic review. The club, the Glazer family basically open for a sale. Everyone interpret that as, you can look at it whichever way you can, but it basically means the Glazers have realised the jig is up. It's time to move on. They're going to move on with a big profit. Looks like the club could be around 5 or 6 billion quid, depending on who you believe. So they're going to make a load of money and walk off into the sunset, having taken countless dividends and saddled the club with debt during their 17 years of ownership. But the point is this, the club's for sale, so Jim Ratcliffe has the money to buy Manchester United, and now we officially know he wants to buy Manchester United. I don't think it's going to be as cut and dry as Sir Jim Ratcliffe going, I want to buy United, the Glazers going, oh yeah, of course you can, here you go, here's Manchester United Football Club. As the Sky article reports, we've been linked with a move by Saudi Arabian money, been linked with a move by other countries in the Middle East, other sovereign states, as well as individuals as well. So this could be one of several bids that come in. You'd expect a club the size of Manchester United to have a lot of bids. Chelsea had hundreds of bids. And no disrespect to Chelsea, I don't care if it's disrespectful to Chelsea, I'm not really bothered. But they're not remotely the same size or stature of Manchester United. You look at United, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world. You can understand why there's interest. Yes, it's a lot of money, but people would want to buy Manchester United because you are buying one of not just the biggest clubs in the world, one of the biggest sports franchises, if you want to use that term, in the world, on the planet. So it makes a lot of sense that you're going to get a lot of bids. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is one of them. One of the first big ones that I can think of, and also one that seems relatively popular amongst Manchester United fans. Whenever Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes up in socials, whenever we've done a video on him, whenever I've spoke to people, they seem to think that he could be the best bet for Manchester United. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. Do you want to see Sir Jim Ratcliffe come in? Do you have a preference? Do you have someone else you think will be a better owner? We've been linked with all sorts. We've had links with Amazon, links with Apple, links with Facebook, links with Middle Eastern money. Links with the lot. People saying it's going to be a consortium. Lewis Hamilton, David Beckham being the front of it. All sorts of everything when it comes to these bids. Now it looks like Sir Jim Ratcliffe is doing an opening salvo. He's letting everyone know he wants to buy Manchester United. It's an official sort of, move for Manchester United. Bid confirmed. So that is good news, I think, anyway, from someone who's, and I'm sure a lot of you have, been through the entire Glazer ownership. I remember back in 2004 when it was first announced they were looking to buy the club. 2005 they bought the club. I remember all the protests. I attended many of them. We've had protests this season, last season, seasons before. We've had the green and gold. We've had Glazers out. We've had SC United Manchester, of course. People going and starting that Phoenix club because they were so angry about what was going on at Manchester United with the Glazer ownership. Now it looks like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. And could Jim Ratcliffe come in and be the answers to the problems? We've wanted the Glazers gone. Warrior here in the chat says anybody but the Glazers. Dan Kaiser says if I had the choice, Sir Jim for me. Willie Hitch says Ratcliffe will pay what it's worth. Saudi will pay whatever it takes. Alex Bailey says Jay, text Steve, tell him to get the sausage rolls and open top bus ready. I think Steve Howson made the point that when the Glazers are gone, he's going to be partying and getting the sausage rolls out. AJ Williams, or AI Williams, said Sir Jim, number one choice without a shadow of a doubt. Ace says, I don't want Jim. Do you not want Jim? Let us know. Iron Oatsy says, Ratcliffe in. We'll go through this article again as well, because, a lot of you seem quite happy about this, and I get it. This for me feels like a positive move. it says, David Harrington says, this is just the start, boys and girls. I think that's true as well. I think this is just the start. This isn't going to be Jim Ratcliffe coming in, making a bid, buying United straight away. I expect other people, organisations, consortiums, maybe even countries to come in with an offer for Manchester United Football Club. You can see here the Sky News article. This is breaking news. It's been reported everywhere. I could have picked about 10 different articles. I think it was in the Times, it's in the Mirror, it's in every newspaper now. He's breaking this story. It's all over everywhere. This isn't just Sky, who are reporting it. You know this is happening because everyone is, because there's an official statement. So I'll go through it. It says there, billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe confirms interest in buying Manchester United. The 70-year-old chemical firm Ineos announced he had formally lodged interest with the club's current owners, the Glazer family. We have formally put ourselves into the process, an Ineos spokesperson said. Britain's richest man has made no secret of the fact he would be interested in buying the Old Trafford club. He supported United as a boy and is understood to remain a fan. Manchester United was seen as being put up for sale late last year, when the Glazers, who have been at the helm for 17 years, ordered a strategic review. Their tenure proved controversial with fans from the off because of the level of debt they placed on the club's books even, which many argue has hampered investment in the team and the stadium ever since. Ratcliffe was among bidders for Chelsea when its ownership came up for grabs after the start of Russia's war in Ukraine, but his offer of $4.25 billion was rejected under the sale process ordered by the government. Obviously, Chelsea was a weird one because of Roman Abramovich, his ties to Putin's regime. He had to sell, and he had to sell relatively quickly. As the article points out, Roman Abramovich was given his marching orders for links to Vladimir Putin's regime in Moscow. Mr. Ratcliffe is no stranger to big sporting investments. He owns cycling team Ineos Grenadiers, League One side Nice, who he took over in 2019, and FC Lausanne Sport, a Swiss Super League club. So he's got a bit of experience in owning clubs and football and sporting enterprises. He's obviously got some knowledge around football, around Manchester United Football Club, because he's a United fan. He's been to games. He's been to games as a kid. He's been to games as an adult. He seems to care and know the club. It makes a lot of sense there. He's also got the money. There's a big talking point. We've had people coming out of the woodwork before, and they saying, I want to buy Manchester United Football Club. And it's pardon my language, but they've barely got a pot to piss in. This guy's got money. He's obviously got a lot of money. Is this going to be part of a consortium or just him? We'll have to wait and see. Hit that like button. Over 500 likes, almost 4,000 of you watching. The big news, the breaking news that we've got covered here on Stretford Paddock is that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's official. He's confirmed his interest via his company Ineos that he wants to buy Manchester United. Abhinav Verma says, Jimmy's coming in means no money in ATMs there. Yeah, I made the joke that I saw him in Eccles at Morrison's drawing money out of an ATM. As always, I'm ITK me, you see. People laughed and said I was joking, and now it's confirmed. Witterbird says it means that if he was to buy United, that Nice, etc., cannot play each other. I don't know what the rules are. It's weird because City own all these different clubs, don't they? Including that club in Spain. I'm not really sure. Listen, I'm going to wrap it up there. You've seen the news. Breaking news. Ratcliffe bid confirmed. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is coming for Manchester United. I, for one, am pleased. I think he's a much better owner than the Glazers. I know there's that sort of element of anyone but the Glazers, but we have to be careful because there's some pretty unsavoury links here to potential buyers of Manchester United. I think this would be a good move for Manchester United. It's someone who knows the club, understands football, and has the money, not just to buy Manchester United, but hopefully invest in the stadium, invest in the team, get Manchester United at the very top. That's where we want to be. One thing I will say, though, Sir Jim, before I wrap up, keep Erik ten Hag. If you do buy Manchester United, don't be messing with the programme. Keep Erik ten Hag. He's the man for the job. I've been Jay Motti. This has been a bit of breaking news. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.